All right. Trade recap. Let's go. W for today. Oh, actually, I didn't run a test to see if the video is recording, but I think you guys can hear me pretty well. Anyways, W's for today. Valid ass play to the downside. Discord also banked with us on their own momentum trades. We had some good opportunities today as well. A lot of trend action. We had Trump talking today. A lot of good opportunities for longs today. 30-second. Oops. 30-second had some good opportunities as well, but we were kind of focused more on the 1 minute time frame since that's been more optimal for us recently, and we've seen that play out a lot better. When we started getting that upside trend, clear upside trend on the 1 minute pullback, we had another entry opportunity for a momentum candle, which we did actually. I showed it to the Discord as well because this is when we're off. I didn't trade this long. I got off earlier because we're like all the way down here pumping. I'm like, all right, we're pumping pretty hard. We're breaking this downtrend. I'm not going to look to take an upside play until we break fully above all these two and hold above all these two. I actually should probably think about making an alert system so that it sends me an alert whenever we do have a really good market environment. Because a lot of times recently when I hop off the charts, it somehow gets into a really, really good market environment and gives some good opportunities. It's like, what? But anyways, we had a good opportunity right here for the 1 minute banked. There's some more probably if we go check, whatever. We'll forget about that. We'll just focus on the trades we took today. Okay, if you guys don't already know, I trade my momentum trend following strategy. It's stupid simple. I've developed it myself. You won't see anybody else use it online. If they do, they probably learned it from me. But all it does is incorporate strong trend following concepts with momentum concepts. And all momentum concepts are just strong candles that show clear direction or pivot in direction. And trend, you already know what that means. Clear direction on the bigger time scale in one direction or on one side. That's a better way to say it. So we use those concepts, catch trades in the direction of the trend, having our entries based off of momentum after pullbacks, and use our criteria to help us identify the trend, and that's all we do. Catch some bangers. That's it. I normally trade on the 30-second, but I've been seeing the 1 minute kind of play out nicer recently when we get 1 minute confirmation along with the 30-second time frame confirmation. So that's what we've been focusing on, getting that 1 minute confirmation along with that, and that's exactly what we got on this trade. If we do a quick run through on the 1 minute, let's move these out of the way. On the 1 minute, we are downtrending, right? 200 SMA sloping down. That's like my first and foremost criteria for seeing what trend we're in. 200 SMA is also sloping down on the 30-second. 5 minute, not really, but I don't really care because 5 minute is too large of a time frame for me to care what's happening. We were downtrending though with pretty good downtrend price structure. By downtrend price structure, I mean downtrend, plain and simple. That's all it means. Downtrend, lower highs and lower lows. We were getting a lot of that good stuff on the 1 minute time frame and the 30-second time frame. Right here, you can see it's also outputting it there too. But if you look, zoom more in, we're getting a little more kind of information on these like downtrends with micro movement. But sometimes that's when that happens, when we get a lot of micro movement and it's not as accurate, it looks like there might be a little bit more noise. I try to scale out a little bit to the 1 minute if it looks a little noisy on the 30-second. So what do? We saw that move down. We got a pullback. We got a momentum candle on the 30-second in the beginning. This was an entry that was also valid. The reason I don't like to take these trades because recently, if you guys are in the Discord watching my analysis, you've heard me say a lot, like in my testing from my experience, these setups where you get a long momentum candle close to the swing low. Normally, our target goes at the swing low or 1-to-1 risk to reward. Whichever one is bigger, okay? But if we have a huge momentum candle right near the swing low, causing us to do a 1-to-1 that's way past the swing low, I'll usually avoid taking that nowadays because we see something like this where exactly happened today, but it didn't get stopped at. It just barely got close to stop loss. You guys can see right there. You would enter, it would go in your direction and actually make a lower low, but it would pivot and break above the previous high because for whatever reason, let's say the downtrend's over. We don't really care at this point what happens here on this up move. We just want to take advantage of this down move. And if we have a pretty strong down move, but we don't get one because we don't catch it doesn't go to our full take profit because our momentum candle was too big, then that's going to be unfortunate. So we want to minimize taking trades where we're asking too much movement out of price and just take trades where it's just a simple scalp, okay? Ideally, not asking too much from price past the previous low. Sometimes, like for example, this trade right here, it didn't ask too much on the 1 minute because the swing low was now down here. So I was totally okay with taking the setup, and I'll show you guys that trade right now. But on the 30-second, this momentum candle right here, this entry still banked, and the reason it's momentum is because strong candle, very small wicks. A lot of selling pressure. Entry off that. Stop loss goes at the high of that candle. Take profit goes at the swing low or 1-to-1, whichever one gives us a higher RR. We didn't enter off that, although we did say that's a very, very high risk setup. I don't want to take that. We entered off this on the 1 minute time frame. So what happened? 30-second formed this momentum candle, and this was actually aligning with the same time that the 1 minute was closing, and we got really, really good confirmation on that since they're both showing us strong momentum. Entry off that, I really like that. Put my stops above the high. Take profit either at the swing low right here for a 0.93 risk to reward or 1-to-1, whichever one's bigger. In this case, 1-to-1's bigger, so we're going to do that. Entry there. Stop loss was based on the 1 minute time frame because I'm okay with kind of giving myself that more wiggle room. If it doesn't sacrifice, like, doesn't end up looking like the same thing as the previous trade where we have to expect a lot more. Sometimes you'll see the 30-second time frame stop loss will be like down here, and this will be a good R, but then the 1 minute time frame might have a stop loss all the way up here, and you'll have to have a crazy big amount of movement or large amount of movement. And I don't really like taking trades again with huge movement past a swing low. So the stop loss for the 1 minute time frame was valid for me to place on the 1 minute time on the 1 minute candlestick. So you could have got away with the 30-second too. I like doing the 1 minute just to keep things chill, give myself a little bit more wiggle room. Kept it there. Take profit went at 1-to-1. Plain and simple. Let it play out. Hit TP, right? We got to burst the momentum going into our TP. That shit banked. All right? Nothing else to say. Got that move. There wasn't any other opportunities later. I didn't like this momentum candle. Again, same reasoning. And we were expecting a lot past the previous low. I don't see why else I didn't like this momentum candle. That was like the main reason. I think it also wasn't forming the best either. I don't like how we pushed above past this pullback either. We made this move down, but we pulled back, but then we also had a pullback here. We also had news coming up, I believe. Yeah, we had news. Okay, there was also news too. We had 6:58, so on Pacific time. News comes out at 7 a.m. I think we had 10 a.m. news today. We also avoided this candle because of that as well. And that's about it. And then we had this candle right here, but I didn't like this pullback back here. And there was like some other reason. What was I don't remember. I think, yeah, just the pullback was not the best. But overall, valid trade, valid analysis for today. We took this 1W with the team today. Got 6.5K on the day. And this was another opportunity, but I didn't like this trade because the pullback extremely strong. But I just wanted to track it since that did look pretty valid for a really, really good RR. So I wanted to point that out and see if it was going to work out or not. And it ended up working. But I don't usually take trades with a huge pullback like that. Personally, I don't like it like that. No more trades. We hopped off after we started pulling up real strong, and that's about it for today. Called it after this one trade, and we were done. One and done with that. Got in good size because we really liked the play and how it was looking, and we banked on it. That's about it, right? Apply the strategy, and you guys probably have seen. I love the 30-second time frame, but recently the 1 minute time frame has been doing like really, really well. And so, what are we gonna do? We're gonna adapt to the market conditions. If the market conditions show that the 1 minute is performing a lot better, giving us better quality setups, we're going to adapt. We're not going to try to shove our strategy onto the market. We're going to try to fit our strategy to what the market's giving us. Because the market's always going to be right. It's just a matter of, are we going to follow the market or are we going to try to make ourselves go against it, right? So if I start to see or analyze over a large number of trades that something's moving a little different, some things might be shifted in the strategy, some small things might need to be altered, then I'm going to go tweak that stuff. I'm going to go track it and tweak it and see if it's going to be profitable. And that's exactly what we found with the 1 minute. We've seen 1 minute confirmations going back in our testing, going back in our previous trades. We've seen the 1 minute time frame also hold up pretty nice. So what are we going to do? Take it on the 1 minute. It's literally not that complicated. 1 + 1 is 2. If you guys know basic analysis, it's not nothing complicated, bro. You just got to analyze your trades, track them, see what needs to happen, see what needs to be worked on, and go from there. Stick to one strategy. Don't just jump onto a new thing if you're on a losing streak or if you're going through some mental frustration from your trading. Maybe you're over leveraging or maybe you lost a lot of money. Don't just jump onto the next shiny object because that's exactly when you're repeating the cycle, because you're going to go through those periods with every single strategy you do. It's just, when are you going to stop that cycle and put the line on the sand and just cross over and be like, all right, I'm done doing this bullshit. I'm done jumping strategies. I'm sticking to this, honing in on it, mastering it, building it, making it profitable. And that's how you're going to get profitable. It's plain and simple. It's just all the work that is required goes against the basic natural human emotions. Like, go against your emotions. Don't let emotions get involved. Don't let your emotions drive your decision making. Like everything is just regarding emotions. If you can minimize that and use the logical side of your brain and do what you know you're supposed to do, you'll benefit so much quicker than those who are using their emotions or letting the emotions get to them. All right, you guys have probably heard me say it a few times, but I like to give this analogy that imagine you're driving a car. Okay, you have a passenger with you. The person in the driver's seat, that's the logical side of your brain, your logical thinking. The person in the passenger seat is your emotional thinking, is the emotional side of your brain. They're gonna constantly be talking, trying to distract you, get you off your focus, and get you zoned out, whatever, distracting you from watching what's in front of you. And as soon as you give into that, you're gonna crash. You're gonna potentially get into an accident, whatever, hit a tree, and cause a big setback. And we don't want that happening, right? We want to keep ourselves focused in the front, even though that's going to be there. That noise is going to be there. We can't give into it. We can't let ourselves focus on it, right? That's why I say you can't trade like a complete robot, but you can minimize your emotions and not give into it to the best of your ability. That's what you need to work on, not giving into it. The emotional side of your brain will tell you, oh, I want to FOMO. I want to jump in. We just lost like 5 trades in a row. We should definitely go back and trade again so we can get our money back. But you can't give into that. You can't. It will say it, but you can't give into it. The more you don't give into it, the more it'll start shutting up because it'll realize that you're not paying attention to it. That you're not giving into it. It's like, all right, he's not giving into it anymore. All right, we can't mess around with him. And you're going to be locked the fuck in. Think about it. It's literally like driving a car. If you have a passenger that's annoying you and that's distracting you and you're just not giving into it for long enough time, they're going to eventually stop because they see, okay, it's not bothering him. It's literally like common sense, bro. Come on. Y'all know this shit. But we'll wrap it up there. Quick little trade recap. W trade for the day. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the Discord, 9:20 a.m. Eastern time. If you guys are not already in there, join up. It's in the description. I'll see you guys in there. Let's go, baby.